The iPhone X is official now, but sad to say it is nothing special. Maybe yes, there are few new features, but it is nothing special when compared to other innovations that other companies do. I am personally an Apple fanboy. Yes, I use a OnePlus 5, but still I am an Apple fanboy, and that is because of Steve Jobs. But now, with lack of innovation, I think Apple has definitely disappointed, and with the amount of hype created around the iPhone 10 or iPhone X, whatever you call it, I think many were disappointed. So in this video, let's take a look at why the iPhone 10 is not worth buying. Now, before going into why the iPhone 10 is not worth it, let us talk about few good things that Apple made right. And the only thing that I felt was the display. Yes, they have caught up with the current trend of the display market, like the near bezel-less displays, and I think this here is also good. Yes, there were many gimmicky names like Super Retina display, which is actually OLED, or if I am not wrong, it should be AMOLED. So let's just wait for the specs to roll out. And this is a 5.8-inch display, and one thing that triggers me a lot is the positioning of the front-facing camera and your Face ID sensors, whatnot, and that is like in a position where it interrupts with the videos that you're going to watch and many other apps that you're going to use. So I don't know how Apple is going to be optimizing it for the other apps. Now, I don't personally think this is the best bezel-less display, because you have your Samsung S8 and Note 8 Infinity Edge displays, you have amazing displays from LG G6 and whatnot. But anyways, let's move on to why this is not worth it. So all the features that Apple told were already there on many smartphones, like maybe a year or 2 years back. And so I'm not telling Apple is bad, but I think they have lost the innovation, or they have lost the part where they were inventors of brand new technologies. And now let's take a look at Face ID. It is nothing great. To be frank, they couldn't find another way or a better way to implement a fingerprint sensor and ended up with Face ID. And they came up with many sensor names on the show to tell how good their Face ID system is. Like, they use your thermal sensors, some dots and stuff which they use to recognize your face. I don't know how accurate it is going to be so we won't know until we test it out, but I think it is one feature that not all consumers who are going to buy that phone will be using. Now the cameras are again the same, so there's no improvement in the cameras. Yes, they would have told you have more true tone and you have better color depth. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be too evident. You have the same optical image stabilization, same 12 megapixel cameras, the same aperture, so 1.8, 2.4 if I'm not wrong, and you have the same other features other than the new lighting modes. Everything else is the same. And I forgot to mention the orientation of the camera has changed. So other than this, I don't think there's any innovation in this. Yes, they mentioned like all new cameras, better color gamut and whatnot, but I'm again being frank, there is no innovation here. The same camera that was used on the iPhone 7. Now maybe the processor is good. So this is the Apple A11 Bionic chip, and this is a 6-core processor, and I'm sure Apple's processors have always been really good at performance. Even if they are dual cores, they have been amazing. So I'm sure you will not have any issues performance wise. Now Apple has claimed that you'll get 2 hours of extra battery life on the iPhone 10, and that is when compared with the iPhone 7. Now the iPhone 7 had a smaller display, a smaller battery. Now this has a damn huge display which is like 1.1 inches bigger than your iPhone 7, and that is just a 2-hour increase in battery life. And with such a big display, I'm sure battery drain is going to be more. And but there's one exception, that this is OLED, so it has to be more power efficient, but without testing we won't know anything, so let's wait and watch. And again, the build is nothing too great. You have the same water resistance, you have your glass and stainless steel body, which is, I don't think it is thin, it is kind of bulked up. So let's see how it feels in hand, like when we are testing it out. And you have wireless charging implemented, and finally, like many smartphone manufacturers are implementing that for many years, and Apple in 2017 have implemented it. I'm not going to be congratulating them because this is somewhat late, and now with technology improving, I hoped some other innovation, not implementation of wireless charging. So that is really dumb. Now all these damn old features are packed into a smartphone which costs freaking $1,000 US. Now that is really costly. That is even costlier than the Samsung Note 8, which probably has amazing specs, amazing features than this smartphone. I think this is a very bad move from Apple, and yes, they stressed on Steve Jobs a lot, and if you had watched the keynote completely, you should have seen Steve Wozniak's face. He was not excited. It looked like he was disappointed, and that is clear from how Apple is going down in terms of innovation. I looked up to Apple when Steve Jobs first introduced the iPhone 3GS, and then when the innovation came on the iPhone 4, like from the transition of the completely new design, I was really impressed. But now it is not the case. So I think Apple definitely has to innovate a lot rather than trying to copy and manipulating ideas from other companies. I think they definitely have to come up with some good ideas. So my personal thought is that the iPhone 10 is not worth your hard-earned money. If you have money to spend, definitely go buy this, and if you're a reviewer, you definitely have to buy it. But I personally think you should not buy this smartphone. So thank you for watching, and this is Suman signing off once again. Catch you later.